Hey, welcome to the next tutorial. The song that I'm going to teach you today on lead guitar is the closing song for the album, a song entitled Birth Pangs. I'd say it's a fairly simple song. Kenny makes an appearance kind of at the end of the song. We'll get into that later, as we have on some of the other songs that had Kenny on them. But for the most part, this is really a simple song. There are very simplistic guitar lines that I wrote that are not unlike much of what I've covered so far in the other songs. So real quick before we start learning the lead guitar lines, I wanted to just show you there are only two progressions to this song. And the main progression is this one. This is your verses and choruses essentially to the song. So the song starts off with that chord, that chord, that chord, and then that chord. So it's a 4-chord progression. Starts off with a palm muting kind of thing. And then it breaks into a kind of a choppy pattern. And goes through that a couple times. Those are the verses. And then the choruses are just kind of straight strumming patterns of the same progression, which kind of go. That's the main progression of the song, essentially in, I guess, 3 different forms of palm muting, a choppy verse, and then a straightforward kind of chorus strumming. And then there is a bridge to the song which has 2 different chords in it besides those 2, which are this chord and then this chord. And it just goes between those 2 chords. I'd call it the bridge. Ominous ending, and wanted to kind of have a post-chorus bridge kind of thing going on. So anyway, we'll get into that. I just wanted to give you the basis for, I guess you can hear it by ear what the key kind of is. Let's start with the beginning of the song. When I come in right away, is just, you're not there. And again, you're not playing any of the chords that I'm playing. You're playing different parts over me. You come in at about 4 seconds in the recording with like feedback if you want to. That's where the second guitar starts to come in on the recording. Goes from about 4 seconds in the song to 10 seconds in the song. Before the song gets into that, it kind of erupts into that choppy first verse pattern. So I'll be going in at about 11 seconds. And when that kicks in, you're just going to be playing at 11 seconds. Just like this. And that's it. You come in, I think, just twice there on those verses with that progression. And we'll just break into what those 2 strings are. I use my pinky finger on the 12th fret of the B string. Then I put my pointer on the 8th fret of the high E string. So it's really dissonant there. And then I put, I keep my pinky where it's at on the 12th fret of the B string. Then I place my ring finger on the 10th fret of the high E string. So it's, and then the third position, I move both fingers so that my middle finger is on the 8th fret of the B string. And then my pointer finger is on the 7th fret of the high E string. Sounds like that. Then the 4th position, I will move both my middle finger down to the 5th fret of the B string, and the pointer finger will be placed on the 3rd fret of the high E string. So, and then you just go back to the 3rd position that we were just on for a 5th position. So, like that. So that, once again, we'll just say the 5th position is the same as the 3rd, and your middle finger will be placed on the 8th fret of the B string, and your pointer will be on the 7th fret of the high E string. And that's your whole progression there. You have, I guess, 5 positions total that you switch, and 3 and 5 are both the same position. Now you will play that over the choppy verses from 11 seconds to 33 seconds in the song. And then for verse 2, you will play the same thing from 56 seconds to 1:18 in the song. So before we break into teaching the chorus octaves that I am going to play for you, we will just play an isolated stem of the lead guitar part that I just taught you. Alright, so now we're going to just go over the choruses to the song, and this part is pretty simple. The first chorus hits at 34 seconds in the song here, right after that first verse is ending on the last part that I taught you. And what you're going to be playing here on the 2 choruses in total is a 4-octave pattern the entire time over the choruses. So you'll come in at 34 seconds going like this. And then on the 4th time through, you'll go like this. There's this kind of choppy breakup on the first chorus there. And I believe that chorus ending, you'll do that choppy part at about 50 seconds to 56 seconds. It's that little duration of time there where you do those little choppy parts. There is another variation on the second chorus, which I'll show you on the next part here. But we'll break into what octaves you're playing. So these are really high octaves, really high up on the neck there. You are playing with your pointer finger on the 17th fret of the G string, and your pinky finger is placed on the 20th fret of the high E string, like so. Then you just move it down 1 half step so that your pointer finger is on the 16th fret of the G string, and then your pinky is placed on the 19th fret of the high E string. So, like that. And then there's 2 more octaves here. You're going to find your pointer finger will slide all the way down to the 9th fret of the G string. And the pinky will be placed on the 12th fret of the high E string. And then you'll move to position number 4, which is your final octave. You'll slide up the neck so that your pointer finger is placed on the 12th fret of the G string, and your pinky finger will be placed on the 15th fret of the high E string, like so. So that is really it. The high octaves on the choruses happens twice in the song, and each has a different variation at the very end, which I will show you. So as I said before, the lead octaves are played on the first chorus from 34 seconds till 55 seconds in the song. And then the second time that you'll play through the lead octaves on the chorus is from a minute and 19 seconds to a minute and 40 seconds. Real quick, so we'll just go through it one more little time here. So just really simple. So that's the first one. That's how that choppy rhythm change happens on the end of the first chorus from 51 seconds to 55 seconds. And I'll play you the entire stem here of that first chorus, and you'll hear that end part so that you can kind of identify with that and memorize that. And then I'll show you an example of what the second one sounds like on the second chorus. Okay, so that's what that one sounds like on the first chorus. You can practice to that. The second chorus does the exact same line again, except when you're kind of... when you're coming to that last part, you'll just hit it like one time on each octave, just... And that's how the second one goes. That goes from, I call that a halftime choppy rhythm change, which is at a minute and 35 seconds to a minute and 40 seconds on those high octaves, ending the second chorus. So real quick, here's an isolated stem of the second chorus in full with that end part at the halftime, as I called it. So now we are moving on to the final portion of the song. This is, I guess, what I would call the post-chorus / bridge, kind of an epic ending to the song, taking it into a different direction, not a normal pop structure, as one might say, or traditional. So this is where the second progression to the song comes into effect, where I'll be playing... I'll be going back and forth. This is after the palm muting part. One more through of that. That comes in, the palm muting part comes in after that second chorus. I think I do it twice, and you build your feedback, and then we bust into, I believe what Kenny will do here, this is going to include some of Kenny's work, and I will play what Kenny is going to do on this part, but I just let the two chords ring out. And I think I just do that, I guess, a total of 4 strums there. Alright, so that's what Kenny is playing over my chord strums there on the beginning of the bridge before we kind of get a little bit more aggressive with the song. I'll be then strumming like this. I think I go through that like 4 times through that set of chords. I believe the lead comes in at 2:15 in the song. What Kenny played on there is really simple. He didn't go too crazy with it, but it goes something like this. It goes... just like that. Just walk all the way up the neck like so. And he does that another time that way, and then I think he... After that exact pattern, then he kind of just does more of a picking straight through of it, going something like this. Goes through that, I think, another time until the song busts into a groove. Instead of me strumming like jagged, I end up coming in more so like this with the drums coming in at a goom goo goo ga ga goo. So it's... Anyhow, so that'll be where Kenny he comes in with another solo, which I will play you at the end here. I'm not going to try to demonstrate anything because we let Kenny run wild with that part, and I think we spliced together pieces. We just wanted him to make it sound really uncomfortable and dissonant and kind of like it was the end of the world or something. So Kenny comes in from 2:15 till 2 minutes and 37 seconds in the song, doing those picking dissonant parts, and I'm just going to really quickly show you what fingers, strings, and octaves you will be on here. So your pinky will be placed, there are 4 positions. Your pinky will be on the 7th fret of the B string. Your pointer finger will then be on the 3rd fret of the high E string. So that's position 1. The second position will have your pinky finger placed on the 11th fret of the B string, and then your pointer finger will be placed on the 7th fret of the high E string. Just like so. And then your third position will have your pinky finger placed on the 16th fret of the B string, and your pointer finger will be placed on the 12th fret of the high E string. And then you'll go even higher for your fourth and final position with your pinky placed on the 19th fret of the B string and your pointer finger placed on the 15th fret of the high E string. And those are it. Those are the only positions in the song that have the dissonant part. All right, so just going to comment, I've taught you everything so far that is really fairly simple that either I played or Kenny played that are very easy lines. However, that first little solo that he played, I believe, was at about 2:04 in the song to 2:14 until he does the dissonant picking. That should be relatively easy to figure out, I would think. I think I could probably even piece that one together by ear, but you might need to practice with that one. The next part that he played on the song was complete improvisation, and I believe he did multiple takes of making all kinds of noises, doing all kinds of lead weird stuff. We just kind of let him run wild, and then we spliced everything together. So I almost think while you could memorize what he ended up recording on Birth Pangs here, I think that it is a little bit much, some of the stuff. So I don't expect you to memorize it, but what I did want to say is that he plays that next solo of improvisation. He plays that during the groove rocked out part till the end. He plays from 2:38 in the song till 3 minutes and 22 seconds in the song. And I'm just going to play you an isolated track of it, and I think that we'll pretty much wrap things up after that. Okay, so hopefully that helps with getting what he did there. I'm cool with this part especially being improv live and just making weird sounds with the guitar, making feedback, just whatever you can do to make things sound disturbing and awesome at the same time. So the last part is we come in with 4 hits together on those 4 chords after his solo, and it just goes. And that's from 3:23 in the song till 3:33 in the song. And then we let that ring out for a minute, like a few seconds, and then I just come in for the final end of the song with picking the first chord from 3 minutes and 34 seconds into the song till the end. And that's it. That's the entire song. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. You don't ever play the chords that I'm playing. You can listen to the MP3s that I have on the website here and just go through the tutorial with the isolated stems, and hopefully you can figure it all out. I really appreciate you taking the time to learn Birth Pangs, and I will be back with another tutorial soon. So thank you for your time.